Ooh, somebody's getting fired.
Oh no, it's my sister.
It's a movie about an office that's slightly underperforming right around the holidays. And it's run by a sort of not particularly disciplined son of the founder, who's played by T.J. Miller. And he has a sister, played by Jen Aniston, who would really like nothing more than to close her brother's branch. And so she really comes right before the holiday to put the hammer down. And one of the things she cuts is all expenditures, including the office Christmas party, which is a very important thing to T.J. Miller.
And our gang bands together not only in sort of honor of the founder of the company, who's TJ's father and Jen's father, but also to land a client in hopes of saving themselves.
Having a Christmas party tonight?
Oh, it's not a Christmas party. It's a non-denominational holiday mixer, more inclusive.
Well, whatever you call it, it's not happening.
All right, it's canceled.
Hey, idiot, I'm looking right at you.
Okay, we're not doing it. We'll still do it.
I think we wanted to do something that was reality-based so that you felt like, you know, you started with your feet on the ground, that you kind of relate to who these characters are, that you see yourself in them, that you identify them as archetypes around your own office, and give them each a sense of stakes so that going into the night, they could meet the girl that they hadn't met before, they could make the move with the boss and get promoted, they could, you know, live a fantasy version of themselves. And I think we just wanted to start at a very grounded place because we knew how ridiculous the concept needed to be and needed to sort of spiral out of control, so that when there's a car chase, when they're, you know, going into a different element than they've ever been, you sort of feel like you were with them from the beginning, as opposed to
You had a
starting
pathway in that
Exactly.
was relatable. I think also, you know, as we started developing it, party movies are their own animal. So the party really needs to be the star of the movie in a lot of ways, and you need to create a sort of narrative journey that allows for all these different stories to happen simultaneously. So we played with and oftentimes got rid of sort of extraneous plot and really tried to create one night that was all sort of about, if the party succeeds, then they succeed. If it fails, they fail. So it was a little bit of trial and error to get there.
It's F-word Christmas, B-words. Let's get mother F-word drunk. Lawsuit.
As we started to really explore it, you know, you realize that sort of the out-of-control office Christmas party is becoming something that's less and less accepted in our society. And in some ways that's good, but in other ways that's bad, because you spend your whole life working with people, and in a lot of ways you don't really get to know them except in this one night. And it was sort of meant to be the night that you could be honest and you could break down the barriers, and the lowest guy could talk to the highest guy. There was a real democratic kind of thing about that. And as they become safer, more controlled, that's gone away. And so we realized, well, what would happen if you reintroduced that into an office? Would they be ready? You know, would they be able to handle an old-fashioned Christmas party?
Merry Christmas, bitches! Right down the chimney, folks!
Greatest party ever. Hashtag open bar.
Who are you sending that to?
Everyone in Chicago.
Very early on, we knew we wanted the movie to be set in Chicago. We just have a love of movies that are shot in Chicago. It feels like the sort of ultimate Midwest city.
And they were underdogs, and
And
the
they were
idea of them
underdogs.
being in Chicago somehow feels like an underdog city.
Tonight, the decisions you make will have consequences that will haunt you for the rest of your professional lives.
Pull over or I will shoot your penis in the face.
I love America!
The script was still evolving as we were shooting, as often happens with these kind of movies and with comedies, and we added the actors into the process, so a lot of the roles that didn't have arcs suddenly had arcs. The smaller roles we wanted to make sure really had a lot of meat on the bones so that actors could really invest in those. And that was a process that we worked on with each cast member. And then we had on-set writers, people with us to sort of help polish jokes and be character specific. And the process was constant and evolving, and at wrap we would work on the sides for the next day, and on the weekends we'd work on the script for the next week. And it was pretty chaotic, but ultimately, you know, we feel like
in that chaos you produce kind of your best results, because the last thing you want to do is go into the editing room on a comedy with the same joke told 8 times over and over again.
Don't stop!
Let's party.
Don't stop! Don't stop! I love this company!
What did you guys do to him?
I feel alive!
I think he meant to swing there.
And we really, you know, looked to build a very authentic looking office based on sort of Mies van der Rohe designs from the 70s. And we really kind of wanted it to have that quality so that, like Will said, when the mayhem starts, when the outrageousness happens, it's on a stage that has a certain, you know, patina of filmmaking to
we
it.
also wanted it to feel like a part of a larger corporation. It feels like the cubicle life has been sort of, that story has been told a lot, and we wanted this to feel like you're one of a much larger, you know, conglomerate, and that this office could be reflective of something aspirational in the middle of a city with 300 employees, but that they still have problems and frustrations and
Like
are
every
being
office.
squeezed, exactly like every office.